Welcome. Today we will be introducing the theory of cognitive dissonance.
Cognitive dissonance is the distressing mental state caused by inconsistency between a person's two beliefs or a belief and an action.
Leon Festinger hypothesized that people use three mental mechanisms to ensure that their actions and attitude are in harmony. These mechanisms are referred to as selective exposure, post-decision dissonance, and minimal justification. Today we are going to apply these mechanisms to alcohol consumption, but they are equally applicable to other forms of addiction or substance abuse.
Hypothesis 1: Selective exposure. This hypothesis claims that people avoid information that is likely to increase dissonance. That means that people do not like to listen to information that would make them feel bad or unsure about what they are doing, thus creating cognitive dissonance.
Example: Oliver seems to be drinking a lot lately. Oliver, I am worried about your drinking. I think you have a serious problem. Alcohol can damage your liver, kill brain cells, and jeopardize the safety of you and others.
I don't have a drinking problem. I drink just fine, thank you. Besides, I don't want to hear that bull about killing brain cells. Whoever told you that was probably drunk too.
Oliver is using selective exposure because he is avoiding the information about the negative effects of alcohol because it would create cognitive dissonance. Next, we will discuss hypothesis 2: post-decision dissonance creates a need for reassurance. Post-decision dissonance happens after making an important, close call decision that is difficult to reverse. Strong doubts are usually experienced. Oliver, how are you feeling today?
Dang, it feels like my head is splitting apart and my skin is melting.
That's because you blacked out and had to go to the hospital last night. Your liver is probably irreversibly decaying as we speak.
I'll just get a liver transplant when the time comes. I hear you can do that with technology now.
You are only trying to ease the dissonance you are experiencing between your choice to consistently drink heavily and the knowledge of the terrible consequences it will bring.
Whatever, I was totally grinding with three beautiful ladies last night. I could have easily made something happen with one of them.
Too bad that you threw up all over the side of their house shortly after starting to dance with them. I'm sure they found that incredibly attractive.
They probably did find it attractive.
I'm sure they do. So you don't regret last night at all? You now have a large hospital bill, an exponentially smaller amount of brain cells, and a bunch of people at the party that now think you're an irresponsible douche. That doesn't bother you?
What's done is done. I choose to focus on the positive side of things. Like the fact that people think I'm a hardcore party monster.
Believe what you want, but it's pretty clear you are scraping for excuses to make yourself feel better and more comfortable about the decisions you made. As you can see, Oliver is trying to reassure himself that everything is fine even after his embarrassing trip to the hospital. Hypothesis 3: minimal justification for actions induces a shift in attitude. This hypothesis claims that the best way to stimulate an attitude change in others is to offer just enough incentive to elicit counter-attitudinal behavior. This means that when a person is offered an incentive such as money that is not too lavish or too low, that person will start to change their attitude and behavior. Example: Oliver, I will pay your rent for the next year if you will stop drinking.
Well, that would really help out my financial situation.
Think about all of the things you could do with that extra money, such as take your ladies out on more dates.
That's true. If I took my ladies out on more dates, I would probably get it in more often. I don't need to be drinking all of the time anyway.
You can see here that Oliver's attitude and behavior toward drinking has changed with the offer of getting his rent paid for an entire year.
Today we talked about the three hypotheses of cognitive dissonance. These mechanisms are referred to as selective exposure, post-decision dissonance, and minimal justification.
It is important to remember that none of these hypotheses have been proven wrong.
Thank you for your time, and hopefully you gained more knowledge on the wonders of cognitive dissonance.